What is up, guys? Thank you for joining me today. We are finally pulling the engine on the Silverado. I want to get this thing out. I'm excited. So what we're gonna do is we're just really gonna jump right into it. I need to start getting this baby out. What we're gonna end up doing is, if you guys haven't seen the previous video, I already disconnected the headers, disconnected some cables, drained the oil. So what I'm gonna do is finish getting the headers out, get the intake manifold out, that way I can get to the top bell housing bolts, and then we'll just kind of go from there. What I didn't end up mentioning was, before I pulled the battery, is I took the OBD reader and I cleared the codes. I had like some knock sensor codes and a couple O2 sensor codes that I needed to clear. Now I'm sure with the battery being disconnected for a while it would clear those, but I just didn't want them stored just in case they didn't clear. I don't want any problems with the new with the startup, and when we go to tune it I don't want any hidden problems. So yeah, just a heads up. Also, I don't think I need to pull the hood because this thing's heavy and I am by myself. So as you can see, this is where the, well, let's see if we can get, as you guys can see, this is where it's normally connected, but I don't know if all the hoods are like this, but there's an extra hole back here. I just ended up moving the hinge back there, and as you guys can see, it is straight up. So I think I can get away without removing the hood on that. I don't know if that's like a service thing or what, but I'm gonna utilize it. So I'm just gonna get after it and I'll show you guys where we're at. Here we go, guys. As you can see, the intake manifold has been removed. I removed the alternator as well. Now if I suggest anything, I would say remove the alternator first, because it would have made it much easier, but I didn't. I do wish I would have. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it would have just made it that much easier. Now it is pretty gnarly under here, but not as bad as I was expecting for 220,000 miles. I do believe I had a manifold gasket leak though, because there's way more oil than there should be. I mean, there shouldn't be any oil at all, but yeah. I don't know, it could be valve cover gasket. I don't know. Once the engine's out and the new engine's in and this thing's running, we will tear this down and take a look at everything, see what all has been damaged. I think that'd be a pretty good little video. Also, I drained all the coolant. Most of it did go in the buckets, but as you can see, I've got a bit of a mess to clean up. Not that big a deal. I was working on removing this header on the driver's side, but it started to piss me off, so I am now gonna move to the passenger side, try and get that one out. That way I can get to the starter, remove the starter, and then we can remove the torque converter bolts. It'd be so much easier if I had a lift, but I don't, so this is what we're doing. Let's see here. I will probably work on getting the AC pump out of the way. I'm going to try and do it without disconnecting the lines, so I don't want to deal with all that. Hopefully I can just set it to the side. And then also I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the power steering pump. But once I figure all that out, guys, I'll give you another update. So not much has changed up here. I'm tired of dicking around with the header, so I just kind of moved them off to the side. I cannot remember how I got them in. So they're just gonna go ahead and stay there for now. I'll probably just bungee cord them off to the side when we go to remove the engine. But everything underneath has been taken care of. I tried to get the camera under there to show you guys how to remove the torque converter bolts, but it just, my mic kept running into the bottom of it. It was just a nightmare. I can't get it high enough. But starter's been removed, torque converter bolts have been removed. So to get to the oil level sensor or whatever it is on the oil pan, I couldn't get to it. It was facing up. I dicked around with it forever. So I just went ahead and took this bad boy. Yeah, it took some interesting positions to get that in there, but I ended up just turning it enough to where I could get to it with a flathead. If you guys are unaware of what that is, I'll show you guys real quick. It's that guy right there. See, this one's facing down. Mine's facing up, so I couldn't get to it. Like I said, I just hooked that around there and ended up loosening it up. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but it worked for me. So now, like I said earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and get the AC pump removed off to the side, and then we get the power steering pump off to the side, and then I need to get the bell housing bolts still. Just forgot about that. I need to get the bell housing bolts and then get the engine or the transmission on jack stands, just something to support it. Then, yeah, we can tear this bitch out. So all but one bell housing bolt has been removed. It is loose. It's just the one that this the transmission dipstick mounts to, I guess. Whatever. I just can't get it all the way yet. So yeah, it's just about there. But the rest of them have been removed. I've got the AC pump disconnected and kind of pushed off to the side. As you can see, the power steering bracket, like this whole thing right here, has been removed. Removed the water pump. Let's see here. So basically, I just need to get the harness up out of the way. Figure out what I'm going to do with this. Might just stay there for now. And yeah, I just need to get the engine mounts undone, and we can get her out. So yeah, hopefully the next time I turn this thing on, we are pulling the engine out. So the engine's not quite ready to come out, but I did get the headers out. As you guys can see, there's a couple broken spark plugs because I was throwing a bit of a bitch fit at first. But I took a breather and ended up getting them out. The hardest part was getting the Y-pipe pushed back far enough so that I could get the passenger side header out because it kept running into the trans brace. But as you guys can see, they're pretty dirty. I think I've only had them on for 2 years. Had like a winter and a half on them, and they just they're pretty gnarly. Eventually I will get them ceramic coated, but for now I'm just gonna get them cleaned up, and then, or before they go in, I'm gonna clean them up a bit. But yay, headers are out. So it's getting pretty late and I'm getting pretty hangry. So for tonight, I'm gonna call it good. But I will get the engine mounts out tomorrow, and then we can yank this thing. That's literally all I've got left, is I gotta pull the engine mounts and then get this stuff off to the side. I just kind of put this in with one bolt real quick just to get it up out of my way so I can stand in the engine bay. So that's where we're at right now, guys. Tomorrow we will pull this thing. Alright guys, well I just kind of got in and started tearing the rest of the engine mount bolts out. I got all 6 of them out. Got this all set up. I just got done, so I'm still a little winded. They're not too hard, they're just, they were in there. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this set up and yank this thing out.
Like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I leave them with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside of me made me lose my mind right.
Alright guys, well I clearly did not think that through with the lifts on the truck and the engine hoist not being able to pull it all the way out or get it up high enough. I did not think that through. I'm kind of a dipshit. But as you guys can see, I removed the oil pan, I removed the pickup tube because we are getting this thing out. I just need to remove the flywheel and then she'll come right out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out because I don't want it hanging up for too long. So I'll get it out and then I'll start recording again. Here we go, guys. This greasy pig is out. God, I think it's leaking out of everything it could possibly leak out of. So I'm not gonna show you guys too much because I don't even want to know yet. But as I was putting the pickup tube back on, I found some goodies under here. Let's see. I promise you I did not place those there. So I'm actually pretty excited to see what all exploded in there. So to all you guys that were commenting, just replace your lifter and then just call it a day. Like, no, I knew there was something wrong. Something else that was wrong. And there we go. There's chunks of something. And I promise you guys, like I said, I did not put those there. I don't even want to know yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put the oil pan back on. I'm not going to dive into it till we make that video later on. So I'm going to get the oil pan on, and then we can set her down. Victory! She is on the ground. Well, she's on a tire, and then not that much tension, but this is where she's going to sit for the night. It is done, boys. It is done. The engine is out. I know this is only half the battle, but I'm pretty stoked about this. I know it's been a long time coming. Thank you guys for bearing with me. The car happened, so I had to take some time to do that. But next we're gonna go ahead and get the transmission stuff figured out. We're gonna put the new stall in, probably the shift servo, and then figure out how to do the transcooler and all that. So I'll have a video on that. I'll clean the engine bay. I'll get the engine all situated somewhere else, not in the way. Yeah, what else is there? Oh, I'm excited to pull the engine apart, pull that engine apart later. So we'll have a video on that later on. I want to get that engine in and then we can go from there. I want to get the truck fired and then that'll be a video down the road. So yeah, guys, I'll probably do a couple update videos. I have an exhaust video for the car coming out, so there's videos coming. Sorry that I was gone for a little bit, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night.